I'm going to go over it. Yeah, I'm going to go over that. Okay. Yeah, and I can here for the duration for this. I can do that.
Same day pickup and next day delivery on most orders. Grainger can help you stay on top of your game. Not sure exactly what you need? Huddle up with Grainger's product specialists. They'll tackle your toughest questions to help you move your team forward. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Vanguard is 100% client-owned, serving over 50 million investors every day. Whether you're planning for retirement, putting your kids through college, or saving up for your next adventure, Vanguard can help you set personalized investment goals. All investing is subject to risk. Vanguard is owned by its funds, which are owned by Vanguard's fund shareholder clients. Copyright 2024, The Vanguard Group, Inc. All rights reserved. Vanguard Marketing Corporation.
You can stay in touch with your favorite stations and shows no matter your location by simply downloading the free LV Sports Network app for both iPhone and Android. Go to the App Store or Google Play and search LV Sports Network. Download and you are good to go. Raider Nation Radio, ESPN Las Vegas, Fox Sports Las Vegas, 12:30 The Game. It's all part of the LV Sports Network and can all be streamed live on the LV Sports Network app. Download it today. NASCAR is on the air from Michigan as it's the Firekeepers Casino 400 from the Michigan International Speedway. Listen in Sunday starting at 10:30 on 12:30 The Game. Injured in a crash? Call Sam and Ash at 702-303-0333.
Attention plumbers, HVAC, DIYers, and construction pros. McFadden Industrial Hardware has everything you need for your next project. Open early at South Decatur and Russell. McFadden Industrial Hardware, your one-stop shop to get the job done. McFadden Industrial Hardware. Get in, get out, and get to work.
Hey, John.
Yes, Dad?
It's Tuesday, and we're still selling lots of cars.
Of course we sell lots of cars. At Finley Toyota, we make purchasing a car super easy. From the moment the customer arrives, they're greeted by our amazing staff. Or if it's service they need, one of our top-notch service specialists will take over and manage their repair from start to finish in our state-of-the-art facility. Also here at Finley Toyota.
Yeah, of course. But on a Tuesday?
That's right, Steph. At Finley Toyota, we sell the most cars every day of the week, even on a Tuesday.
Don't settle for watching your favorite sporting event. Get in the game with BetMGM. New customers can sign up using code FOOTBALLV for a first bet offer of up to $250 back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Nevada may have 10 places to bet on sports, but sometimes you want action at your fingertips. Download the BetMGM.
I'm only a person that.
Yeah, we're good.
So,
What's happening, everybody? Yeah. You got sound now, Dom? You got sound now. It's a button. Hey, Dom, sometimes we're talking privately about shit, and we don't want you hearing what we're talking about. So there will be a mute from time to time. How about that sweet new Modelo hat? There you go, Fabian. You like that Modelo Lounge post-game cap? What are we talking about today? Are you guys all fired up about the quarterback scenario? Let's hear some quarterback talk today. Nathan Peterman's back, Bobby. Nathan Peterman is back quarterbacking the Raiders.
how about that one? Nathan Peterman. Well, you do need a third string quarterback.
Well, we were supposed to have a third and a fourth string quarterback, and we brought Nathan Peterman in.
Second half last weekend.
Well, I don't think the quarterbacks play very well in Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy got hurt. I want to see him play. He's a good player. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. Nobody. Justin.
This is Raider Nation Radio, 920 AM, KRLV Las Vegas.
You're listening to the JT the Brick Show, where the Raider Nation is coming sound off and over 20 years.
It's time for JT the Brick. Let's go. Let's pick up the pace. There are high expectations for this team. The Raiders have an established offensive line. You might not love it, but Colt Miller, Dylan Farnham, Andre James, we got some big dudes today. Who's going to start that first game? Aiden O'Connell 1, Gardner Minshew 2. I want the ball out. I want the ball out quickly. I want slants. Wheel the ball, get out. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi out. JT the Brick. And in the last regime, we took too much time in between plays for no apparent reason. We got to get Brock Bowers the ball all the time. He is a gift from the sports gods handed to us in Vegas. And Bowers comes in with 73 receptions and 11 touchdowns or 9 touchdowns. That changes everything. If I'm wrong, you know where to find me. And now, get him the ball. Here's JT the Brick.
Out of the gate, JT. Bobby's back today. We got a busy show lined up. Man, it's great every day to have a show from noon to 2. Last night I had one from 4 to 7. Got a nice Raider event tonight. A chalk talk over at the stadium. There's going to be a practice over at Raiders headquarters for those who were fortunate enough to get in. And then we have a stadium wide open practice coming up on Wednesday that I'm going to play a pretty big role with on the sidelines, and I'm excited to tell you about that. That's going to have a big crowd, man. I like to count crowd size when I have a microphone. That's going to be a big one. Not going to break into my Mount Rushmore, but it could be 35 to 40,000 people coming out to the Raiders practice. You know, other teams have big stadium practices too, but we're Raider Nation. Raider Nation has fans in Vegas, Oakland, Los Angeles, globally here, so hopefully you're in town to see practice, and a lot of people are going to come in. We're on YouTube. People are in there already. Already talked to them, JT the Brick YT. That's part of the show. Subscribe and share. And we'll get you rolling into this practice tomorrow, which I think is going to be really important because the Raiders don't have any padded practices, joint practices lined up. The Niners just canceled with the Saints because the Niners are banged up. So you want to have joint practices or you want to play your players more in the preseason. I believe everyone in Raider Nation is pretty happy about the amount of snaps that players got. We saw Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. You know, we're waiting on Colt Miller and Jackson Powers-Johnson, right? We're waiting on those guys. Let's go. Let's go. We need the offensive line. Let's go. Bring them along when they're ready. When they're ready, we'll tell you. But hopefully it's sooner than later, as Coach Pierce said yesterday. And then today is Nathan Peterman Day. I woke up, you know, I got a whole bunch of different text groups. I got my Buffalo boys. It says Buffalo boys on the text, and they're all from Buffalo or in around there. I went to college with them, and they got up and they gave me some fun laughs on Nathan Peterman. Said, Nathan Peterman again. Nathan Peterman's a good break-the-glass reserve quarterback who understands playbooks. And I guess the Raiders want to take a look at another quarterback, and Nathan Peterman is the guy. Now, as I was on the call in Minneapolis, I wasn't impressed with our third and fourth string quarterback because they didn't want any plays to win the game. They didn't want to run any boots or, you know, do anything or quarterback draws or throw it to the tight end. That told me a lot. We could win the game. It's a football game. Just throw a 7-yard pass. Minnesota's got to burn through all their timeouts and the game's over. But no, they just handed it off into a pile. And I don't think that Brown looked really good. Carter Bradley, I haven't seen much of. I didn't see much of him other than some camp throws. And if they want to bring in Peterman to be the third string or compete for the third string, great. Nathan Peterman is a pretty good third string quarterback if you got to bring him in there. But we are not the show of the practice squad. But in football now, the quarterbacks, you got to have 3. So even if you think the quarterback is not going to play, if he's the third string quarterback, man, I used to talk about this with the late, great David Hum. Ray Guy was a quarterback. He was an emergency quarterback. You got to have a quarterback in case your starter's injured, right? So your starter has an injury. He's out. Then your backup, who's pretty good, in this case the Raiders, Aiden O'Connell and Minshew, they get clobbered in a game. You got to bring in that third quarterback. He better be able to play. Peterman can play. He doesn't play at a high level, but he can play. So that's about as much attention as that topic's going to get. That's about it. It's sad to see J.J. McCarthy's going to need knee surgery. He played well against the Raiders backups. So what? Everybody plays backups in the preseason. But I thought he played pretty well. And J.J. McCarthy's going to have knee surgery now after tests revealed that the rookie quarterback has a tear in the meniscus in his right knee. So we'll see what happens here. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a long-term injury. The coach, Kevin O'Connell, confirmed earlier today saying it occurred during the Raider game, obviously. He threw the second of his 2 touchdown passes on the final play and left only after he played 30 snaps. So McCarthy did not mention any pain or soreness until reporting it Monday to the team medical officials. And he said he loves you, Vikings Nation. There's no such thing as Viking Nation. He said Viking Nation. There's only one nation. It's Raider Nation. Stop. There's no such thing as Red Sox Nation and NASCAR Nation and Viking Nation. There's one nation, the Raider Nation. Get our names out of your mouth, okay? You're on the opposite team. But I like J.J. McCarthy. When I was finishing the game on the bus, heading to the airport, I tweeted out that McCarthy should be the starter over Sam Darnold. That won't happen now. So Sam Darnold will have that job. And I don't know if it could be a 4-week, 10-week injury, but he was a top 10 pick. He was taken number 10 overall after they were able to move and shake and go up there and get him. Remember, the Raiders could have got J.J. McCarthy. They were picking at 13. They couldn't trade up to get Jaden Daniels. They won Michael Penix. I don't think they wanted Bo Nix. They could have got J.J. McCarthy. Looking back, he's injured now. It's a fluke. But I like the kid. He won a national championship, so it's kind of a bummer that he's out there. So we'll see how that plays out. The other news with quarterback injuries is what's happening in our first opponent against the LA Chargers. Today, we continue to find out that Justin Herbert's in a boot, which what that means is with his plantar fasciitis, he is taking no snaps. He is not taking any snaps with the team. So I'm expecting him to play against the Raiders in week 1, and he's not going to have any snaps going into that game. They're not going to play him in the preseason. He's not going to practice. Maybe the week of the game, obviously, if he's going to play at home against the Raiders, then you get him out there the week of, and you play him. And I don't know what you do on game day, shoot him up or not, but that's an injury that we're keeping an eye on. The other couple of other big storylines have to do with Brandon Aiyuk. As we hit the show, looks like Brandon Aiyuk has the ball in his court. There is a deal potentially in place for Brandon Aiyuk to go to the Steelers, but you got to see if the Niners are going to sign off on this deal. And I think the Niners are pretty much getting sick and tired of him. And you can rub your team. You really can rub your team the wrong way. If you're under contract and you want more money, which happens often, it happens often, but you continue to be a pain in the blank and you start embarrassing your team, and then your coach cancels a practice with the Saints in Orange County because guys are hurt and you're not around. So the update 1 hour ago, this is 1 hour ago from Ian Rappaport, the Steelers and the 49ers have a deal on a potential trade, and Pittsburgh is in a good place on the Aiyuk contract going forward. If San Francisco gives the final sign-off, it's done. Okay, so let's break down what that means. Pittsburgh is going to trade for Brandon Aiyuk, and then they're going to have to pay him. Aiyuk doesn't want to play for the money he's getting from the Niners. Right. So he won't play in Pittsburgh unless he gets a new deal. Right. Pittsburgh is okay with that. They'll give him new money. That's where the agent is negotiating that. The issue becomes, what will the Niners get in return? Because the Niners aren't going to get much in return this late, but the Niners are a team that, like every team, that's going to want draft picks and equity and to move up and go get a player here. I said this before. I'll say it 100 times. If Brandon Aiyuk is moved from the Niners window's over. Yep. That's how I see it. I could be wrong. I still think the Niners are a playoff team. But if they don't have Brandon Aiyuk, and Debo gets banged up a lot, they treat him like a fullback, let alone a running back and a receiver, I think that is a devastating loss for the 49ers. Period. And we have 49er fans who listen to this show because I want everybody to listen to the show, not just Raider fans. I want a national show that's on a great feed coming through the Raiders, and I'm going to talk about football and other teams. He's a good player. He'd be a good fit with the Raiders, obviously, but the Raiders, I think, are heavy at wide receiver. For those who are worried about the Raider depth at wide receiver, don't worry. We got a new receiver. His name is Brock Bowers. He's a wide receiver. He's a slot receiver. He can do it all. So we got Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, and all of that. So with all of that is out there, the Raiders are okay. Could they, on the back end with DJ Turner, players like that, it's always good to have a fifth or sixth receiver that can make a play. But the league is built on ones and twos, the first receiver and the second receiver. I think the Raiders are okay here. So that is big news. And then the other story, other than the injuries, the big story is CeeDee Lamb with the Cowboys, and he will not play here in Vegas coming up this weekend, which I'm bummed out about. I wanted CeeDee Lamb to start to go up against Jack Jones and Jacorian Bennett or whoever's going to play the other corner. That's the one guy I wanted to see. I wanted to see CeeDee Lamb kind of cause some havoc, run a couple of routes there. He's not going to play because he hasn't reported to the Dallas Cowboys. And the Cowboys know they have to pay him. And I think Jerry Jones is getting close to paying him. But, man, they need a lot of money to pay him. They're paying Micah Parsons. They got to pay him a lot of money. Dak is not under contract for next year. That's going to cost a lot of money. So with all this happening here, if you want to have great players, you got to pay them. And you got to get some discounts, and you got to restructure contracts, and you got to sign the right players at the right time. And that's what Tom Telesco is here to do. Tom is here to look at what Dave Ziegler did and Mike Mayock beforehand and say, Max Crosby was a Mike Mayock guy. Dave Ziegler drafted some good players and say, look, we're going to keep you guys or not. We like your contracts. We're going to give you more or give you a restructure. And then Tom Telesco takes over, and I think he's pretty sharp when it comes to contracts with Tom Delaney and everybody in the building to try to figure out how to fit certain players in. And if the Raiders start winning more, which we've been waiting for patiently, they're going to be able to recruit players, right? They're going to be able to recruit players to go play like the Warriors are able to do in the Bay Area. If they need a 6th, 7th, 8th player, they want to play with Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. We got to get that happening over here with the silver and black. So those are a couple of quick storylines. Malik Neighbors should be ready for week 1 for the Giants here overall. And then the Reddick move. Hassan Reddick is requesting a trade from the Jets. I was on Mad Dog Sports Radio last night. I thought I made a good point when I said this is an Aaron Rodgers problem now. Aaron Rodgers has got to come in and negotiate. He's Mr. Big Shot in New York. If he wants to win, you need Hassan Reddick. And Hassan Reddick wants a trade. The Raiders don't need him because the Raiders have Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby, and we have a 7th pick overall in Tyree Wilson. We need corners. We need another starting corner potentially. We got to figure out what's going to happen at left guard with JPJ or maybe right tackle, depending on how our right tackles play. We got some youth in DJ Glaze and Thea Mumford. But with all this happening now, we got to make up our mind on which team is going to be the final team. And I'm sensing that Antonio Pierce is in that scenario where he's going to make that decision on the quarterback after this game. And we'll go from there. So that's what we're doing today. This is quarterback week. It's very simple what I'm trying to do. I got a couple of guests every day. We got a lot of meetings, a lot of things happening here. We're trying to get our show ready for the start of football season. And all I'm looking for from you is in-depth analysis on the quarterback from Raider fans who are paying season ticket prices. Who do you want? Who do you think deserves it? It's not a difficult topic, and I like to do some really good engaging topics. I put all my life into my topics and my monologue. My first 20, 25 minutes I'll put up against anybody ever in sports radio. There's no teleprompters. There's no pencils and notes. It's just me raging for 25 minutes, and I try to put everything into that so then you have something to react to, agree, disagree, yell at me, fight me on the air, do whatever you want, but sound off like you got a pair. And we, the Raider Nation, are in the biggest debate in football. The biggest debate in football is who's going to play quarterback for this franchise this year. And I don't have the answer, and neither do you. So this is what we call a debate topic, where we got to figure out the pros and cons of all this. For our new expanding audience, I'll say this again. I think for the first 2 games, the experience matters a lot, and I think Gardner Minshew has more experience. But Aiden O'Connell could be what they want with an accurate passer, maybe a little bit more accurate, if that's what they see on film and camp and all that, where he can get the ball out and check down and get it to Bowers and short passes and beat the Chargers and or Baltimore or split between them. I'm more do or die. I'm like, no, this schedule jumps on us early. We better have the best players available on the field ready to play. The best. If you're Divine Diablo and you're the best linebacker, you better be ready to go. If you're Jacorian Bennett and they tell you you're starting, Patrick Graham goes, I'm picking you to start, you're my other corner, okay, over Faison or who's ever competing, he better be ready to go. Same thing, Colton Miller. Can you go, Colton? You're coming off surgery. We brought you back slowly. Are you ready? Yes, good. You're starting. I don't see how Jackson Powers Johnson can play. I hope he can, but I don't see how he can play when he hasn't been on the field, period, and he's not going to be on the field, I don't think, playing in this game. If he is cleared and he plays and he looks good in the last 2 games and then he has a week off we have a week off before the start of the season, and he's the best player, JPJ, you start. If not, we'll go with white hair, experienced ex-Pro Bowler. Best guys better be ready to go, period. And then the other guys who make the team on special teams got to be really good. I made a note to myself to mention AJ Cole again. I saw AJ, I talked to him, and I'll talk to him on the sidelines coming up here. He is an asset. I really believe from what I saw in just a sprinkling of strategy, because there's not a lot of strategy in the preseason, a sprinkling of it, is that the Raiders are very comfortable with playing conservative so far and letting him punt. So if it's 3rd and 6, and I think the Raiders on 3rd and 6 should always go for a first down, right? We're not doing check down Charlie stuff unless it's Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is the only guy that I throw out that rule with. I don't care if it's 3rd and 14, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 6. You can check down to Brock Bowers. I'll take my chance with him getting a first down. Nobody else. And Devontae, right? That Devontae, obviously, he makes someone miss. Devontae could be off to the races. But whoever it is, we got to be ready. Fortunately, the Raiders have the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, 2 playoff teams. Both teams will play some starters. They will. And the Raiders will get their juices flowing, and they're going to play some players. Now, what I would think is if the Raiders look good in this game coming up here against the Dallas Cowboys, and they look good, right? They look good in Minneapolis. The first team starters look good. They pulled them. They had a lead, a good lead. They would have won that game if the starters played versus the Vikings. If they look good against the Cowboys, I don't mind shutting it down. I'm good. Niners are all banged up. Niners are really banged up. They're going to come in here. They're going to probably not going to play anybody. McCaffrey's not going to play. I doubt they play anybody. Then you can shut it down and shut down Max and everybody else and go. But this game coming up, we got an open practice at Allegiant Stadium in a game. You're going to see some helmets flying around. Guys are going to be making tackles and fighting to make this team. And I'm excited about that. So that's the monologue as we open it up, and that's brought to you by Golden Entertainment. You know, they have a concert series out there at the Laughlin Entertainment Center. It could be Little River Band. It could be a concert you like. Look at their schedule. You get on out there, you get a room, a dinner, you go to a concert there, you'll have an unbelievable time. They do a good job with their concerts and their summer schedule. You know, summertime is the time to go out to these concerts and have a really good time, and I've been out there, and it's a really good time. Also, they're helping you out with your fantasy football draft, so you can have a good time with that because they have the draft kit. The Wi-Fi is really good. They got drinking food specials, so you can get out there for that. PT's fuels the monologue, and new members that sign up for a True Rewards card during the month of August and earn 20 base points will receive $10 in free play. They got 70-plus taverns out there. You know the program as we begin. 702-365-9200. Again, we want to hear from you and get in here on the quarterback. Someone give me something new on the quarterbacks. I'm not doing a Nathan Peterman show today. I'll shake his hand. Welcome. Welcome back, Nate. You know the building. There's your locker. I got to figure out what's going on between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. Fortunately, Chris in West Oakland, a lifetime Raider fan, will help me get some answers here. How do you see it, Chris?
I will. Before I get to that, let me weigh in real quick. I want to say something about Brandon Aiyuk and all these guys that are under contract. Look, I'm a player's guy. I believe get what you can get. But I'm so sick of the trend in the NFL of these guys holding out while they're under contract. It's a 5-year contract, not a 4-year contract. These guys all want their next contract before they finish their last one, and these teams all acquiesce. That being said, I would love the 49ers to trade him. I don't think Pittsburgh's a credible threat in the AFC with or without Brandon Aiyuk with their quarterback situation. But Brandon Aiyuk makes the 49ers significantly weaker. There's no way a team whose Super Bowl window is now trading your number one wide receiver does not make you a better team. So I'm all for it because anything that hurts the 49ers is good in my book. Let me slide on over to the Raiders. Oh, you're right about concerts, JT. Nothing better than summertime. Saw YNT and Megadeth last weekend. Got Sammy Hagar coming up Saturday and Leonard Skinner. Summertime is concert season for me, not NFL preseason football. But since that's all we got, let's get into the quarterback situation. Look, I've been on record. I'm not thrilled with either one of these guys. I think the best we can hope for is good, solid quarterback play. I don't see anything special. But that being said, this is who we got. I got to go with Gardner Minshew for one reason. In the one scramble last week where he scrambled 5 yards for a first down, that's 5 more yards than Aiden O'Connell scrambled for all last year. I think he gives them a little bit better availability of the rush, especially if the offensive line's got questions early in the year. I think he can move around in the pocket and get the ball out, and I'm with you. I think he's got a little bit more experience. It gives them a better chance to win because you're right. I don't want to hear, well, let's give it 3 or 4 games and we'll make a change. This schedule is much, much tougher than a year ago. This team's got to come out of the gate. They've got to hit the 5 or 6 week mark with at least, I'd say, 3-2, 3-3, you know, especially with what they open the season with. If anything less than that, then we're fighting an uphill battle, and I don't want to go to the quarterback change out of necessity. Well, gee, we're 1-4. We need to make a change. So go with the guy that gives you the best chance to win early and get this season off to a good start. Chargers is a very winnable game, especially if Herbert's hurt. Baltimore's going to be tough the second week, no matter who they got at quarterback, because it's one of the best teams in football. So for my money, it's Gardner Minshew at the moment simply because of the experience factor. He's got a little better track record. I think he gives. I watched very little of the game on Saturday. I was watching mostly the gold medal basketball game. I love Josh Jones, though. So nice that we've got a defender in the secondary that can actually track the football in the air and then catch it when it's thrown to him. Not a guy that he either hits him between the numbers or drops it, or the only interceptions we get are when a ball is so overthrown it's like a punt. So I'd like to see this secondary, especially at the safety, go out and get one more ball hawk. But I love what Jones brings to this team. It's been a long time coming, and you saw in such a short order last year how valuable the guy was to him. Thank you, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Chris likes ball hawks, guys who can catch the ball when they're thrown to him in the secondary. He's been calling me for 20 years on that topic. He's right. We need guys who can catch the football in the secondary. Jack Jones is capable of doing that. I think Trayvon Merrick is capable of doing it. Talking to coaches about Jacorian Bennett, vast improvement there. Eric Allen. That's why we bring in Eric Allen on the broadcast. I'm going to bring that. Chris calls in, gives us something good. I can use that on the broadcast and ask Eric Allen, hey, Eric, who are the ball hawks out here? Who can catch the ball and turn it over? Look who we're playing, man. Look who we're playing out of the gate. Justin Herbert. Lamar Jackson's the MVP of the league. He's going to have 9 days off, win or lose, and his home opener. I'm not worried about him throwing the ball. He can make every throw. I'm running about him running a play for 50 yards if he's missed behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be an interesting game for Christian Wilkins. And then after that, Bryce Young. Well, he's a newbie. You got to beat Bryce Young, right? Then you got Deshaun Watson. I'm looking at the quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson is elite when he plays consistently. He hasn't played consistently since what happened with the Masseuses in Houston. He's been a disaster, but he's really talented. And then right after that, we have, the Steelers. You get the Steelers in Denver. We get Bo Nix, and I would think we get Russell Wilson, but they're screwing around with Russell Wilson talking about Justin Fields. The quarterbacks we play early. Herbert's injured. I want him at 100% because I don't root for injuries. Well, he's not going to be anywhere near 100%. You get Herbert, you get Lamar Jackson, who's the best along with Patrick Mahomes. And then you have quarterbacks where they might throw the ball up. Bryce Young's going to make mistakes. Deshaun Watson's going to make mistakes. Bo Nix is going to make mistakes. Who in that secondary is going to jump in and make a play? 702-365-9200. Jim from Jim's Cards and Comics, my longtime friend who I've reconnected with, buddy. How are you, Jim? Go ahead.
Hey, JT. How's it going, my brother?
It's a beautiful day, Jim.
Over here at Raider Nation. I'm glad to see you talking quarterbacks today. Let me give you my high side on it. I think that Gardner Minshew showed that he can run the team, he can score, he can put the ball down the field. I think he's the guy we got to start with. Aiden's really good. It's kind of nice to have two guys like that are good quarterbacks. I mean, Aiden needs a little more time. I think he doesn't run the ball. He's a pocket passer. But I think he's a long-term quarterback for us. So as far as quarterback goes, I think Minshew can extend the plays really well, and he proved that he can score. Plus, with that potent offense we've got, I can't see how you can't get down the field vertically. We got the best receivers in football, and the new tight end Bowers is just absolutely tremendous.
Wow, Jim. Wow, Jim. I love this. You worked with Daryl LaMonica, Jim Plunkett, Rich Gannon, and all your signings over the years. You got some quarterback juice with you. This sounds good.
Yeah, I'm looking at the old time school here, man, when they played football really hard, and it came from the heart and the soul when they were out there on the field. But we had an offensive line. Just remember something, JT. The game is won in the trenches.
Absolutely.
If you got an offensive line, you're going to run the football, and you're going to be able to pass the ball vertically down the field because you're going to give your quarterback time to make plays. I think the upper hand on Minshew is if he doesn't have the time, he can extend it. He's no Patrick Mahomes, don't get me wrong, but at least he can extend the play. He's a pretty tough guy, and he can make it happen. Okay. So, that's what I'm looking at as far as the quarterback goes.
You got it, buddy. We'll wait for the song. We're going to get it. Bobby has it. We'll have you on again and play it, okay?
I want to tell you a little something about it real quick.
Go ahead.
Raider Nation, we're bringing them back together here. We're going to have a video shoot down there in Vegas on game opener for the song. We're going to have a lot of good things going on with it. I'm here with the producer right now, Danny. I'm going to let him talk.
No, I can't talk to Danny now. I'll talk to him time when we get the song. I got to move on. We'll put him on here, no doubt, Jim. I gotta wrap up the monologue. So good to hear from you. Can't pass the phone on the show. That's one rule. We can't pass the phone unless it's Fred Bolitnikoff passing the phone to Phil Villapiano. We can do that. But we have some new music, and we'll be able to play that music coming up here. So, look at this new Modelo hat. See, if you don't have the YouTube feed, look at this Modelo hat. Oh, my God. I got some Modelo swag yesterday from Steve Gomez. A couple of golf shirts, a couple of hoodies, and a couple of hats. And we're trying to put together a plan for the Modelo fans and the Raider fans. Modelo, proud partner of our show. I have a bucket of Modelos on Friday. Can't this week until after the game because I have the opportunity to call this game against the Cowboys. I'm excited about that. We did that last year, which was interesting. Interesting game last year in the preseason. Remember it well. So that's the monologue, and we'd like to hear from you, 702-365-9200. We have, we're coming up next, we're going to have Jeff Sherman in about 15 minutes, VP of Risk Management. We can talk some gambling odds. Is it true you can gamble on the Little League World Series?
Probably.
You have to be a bleeping degenerate.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be a degenerate if you bet on kids playing baseball. I don't think that's true. Can someone get in my chat on YouTube or let me know if you're allowed to legally gamble on the Little League World Series? If that's it, then the world's going to hell. The world is literally going to hell in a bucket. Okay? We're going to hell in a bucket if that happened. So I heard about it. I don't know if it's true, but I need to know from some gambler, and you could be a degenerate. And then the newest member of Raider Nation Radio, going to be hosting in the morning, Vince Sapienza. You hear him often here on this show. He's going in on the morning show. We're excited about him. He's got deep contacts in town, not only with the Raiders and the owner, but across town with Mr. Foley and the Golden Knights. And he covers sports as hard as anybody in this town that I've seen. So Vince is going to join us at 105. We're going to welcome him to the team here because we're a big team here over at Raider Nation Radio. Tequila Commissario was the most awarded tequila. Please go to their website. It's like something like in Paris with Tom Cruise that you would see at the closing ceremony. It's the most exotic website I've ever seen for a tequila company. The packaging, the bottles, it's like artwork in my house. I don't have a lot of art, but my Tequila Commissario bottles, when anybody walks in, they go, "What is that?" I pour it, and they say, "Oh, that's the Ferrari of tequila, Tequila Commissario." Woo!
Morgan Wallen rocking the Crosby jersey. Brady, Tyson flanking him, walking out.
Yeah, Jim wanted to pass the phone.
Yes.
We couldn't pass the phone.
I saw from.
All right, what's going on in the chat?
It's the nation or nothing. You don't get to just rock whatever colors you want. No.
The morning tailgate, weekdays at 7 a.m.
Give me Minshew, Corey says, with a few more turnovers, but the ability to make plays. Okay, Ray says, open up the Lanai doors. That'd be nice. You know, I don't know how it's going to look there, but little inside baseball. I'm going to be on the sideline. I'm the guy they have interviewing the coaches and the players in front of 35,000 people, man. I'm excited about that. Cisco. Cisco likes the long ball of Aiden O'Connell. Cisco wants a deep ball. I like the deep ball. Real Justin, I have no answer for our quarterback. Well, that's being honest. Melissa and Kenny. This guy is pumped. Yeah. AOC looks good, but people are focused on the sacks. Bobby, JT muting us to curse out guys in the back room. I don't curse anybody out. But there are some things you'll be muted on for sure. Modelo. Gannon didn't throw picks like Minshew does. Well, Minshew's not Gannon. Gannon was an MVP in this league. Brandon says something. AOC all the way. Antonio Pierce ain't going to make a change. That could happen, man. Hit the like button and share. Hit the like button, please. 80 people in here, 24 likes. That's not good math. Let's go. Hit the like button. Take a second. Ooh. What's going on with your Red Sox, Bobby?
I had a good win against the Rangers last night.
Looking Yankee. Look at that Yankees final call if you got that.
Yeah. Say that for the last segment. Well, the Sox are still 7.5 back. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but it doesn't matter.
Don't miss Mark Patrick seminars.
I thought they were the worst team in baseball.
Yeah.
Go to markpatrickseminars.com.
Hi, I'm Rob, owner of Desert Springs Pools. You may not know this, but we've been around since 1994, and we built over 10,000 pools right here in Desert Springs Pools.
For everybody who asking me for tickets, man, I want to look out. I really do. They cost $350 a ticket. Let me say that again. $350 a ticket. You'll probably find something cheaper on Ticketmaster, man. Now, am I saying I'm not going to look out? I don't know. We'll see, but as of right.
That's funny. Jack Jones is saying he's not giving away tickets at $350 a pop.
Yeah.
Has been proven to help children manage pain and contribute to faster healing. So it shouldn't surprise you. It's our favorite song.
They're going to play that Shanahan cut. Well, no, wait. Change that.
The power of music.
Yep.
Save that for later.
How's the new job working out?
Really sucks. Terrible boss, and the paycheck is even worse. I gotta get a new job.
Truck you.
Wait, what?
Truck you.
You don't have to curse at me.
Dude, you should check out Truck You CDL training. My brother got his CDL license in 4 weeks, and now he has a new career making great money.
You got sound. You can hear me, right? Everyone can hear me? Yeah. Yeah, right.
They will even help with payment programs. Check them out.
Did we find out, are you allowed to bet? Are you allowed to bet on Little League World Series? Anybody figure that out?
Las Vegas Raiders and the JT the Brick Show. Modelo Especial is a rich, full-flavored Pilsner-style lager, delivering a crisp, refreshing taste.
It's going to be Antonio Pierce talking about the kickoff. I got about 10 minutes here.
JT the Brick Show, brought to you by PT, the best happy hour in town, 5 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
Well, one with our kickoff returns, we wanted to get every return possible. So, yeah, we could have probably taken the lead of some of those in the end zone, but we wanted to give our guys a chance to showcase their return ability, and we made some plays on Sunday. For the kickoff, obviously, there's 2 or 3 year kicks that Daniel, I know, wish he had back, and we all did, but that's a part of it that you're watching throughout the league. We're all learning and growing. Hell, I think the opening kickoff, if you guys really pay attention, our guys line at the 45 and at the 40. The officials are all off, so it took a minute for everybody to kind of get their sorts underneath them, but you've seen everybody pretty much be vanilla in the preseason with the kickoff and how they're attacking on kickoff return. I think the key part for us is seeing our guys run down the cover and who can make the space tackles.
It's Antonio Pierce on the kickoff. We're brought to you by the Black Hole. That's home to football's most notorious fans. Over 40 chapters worldwide. If you're a diehard Raider fan, this is your home. I'm the first to ever be inducted into their Hall of Fame. It's a proud plaque that stands in my house. And I take people into the room, my sports room, and they say, what is that over there? That's my plaque from the Black Hole. I'm proud to be a part of it. You can join me in the Black Hole All memberships are now lifetime memberships. Once a member, always a member. I talked to Mark Jones and Cisco about this. I said, clarification, please. They said, yeah, we got a membership package that you're a member for life. Go to thebblackhole.com. Visit thebblackhole.com today. You want to be walking into a Raider game as a member of the Black Hole. You do. It's very cool to do that. And you don't have to attend everything, but when you can, and you end up with me in Miami. I'm going to Miami this year. You go to LA, and then all of a sudden there's a party, and you take out your Black Hole membership and card. You get deals, man. You get the hookup, the JT hookup. You always want to get my hookup, man. We're going to get that going here. All right, 702-365-9200 on the quarterback scenario. So what's going to happen here the rest of the week? There's a practice tonight over at the facility for some season ticket holders, I'm assuming. Then we have – so I got a chalk talk tonight with Roland Williams, a former player of this team, who's a lot of fun to do a chalk talk. So I'll be doing that at the stadium. And then I'm going to race over to practice and catch about an hour of practice overall and do that. And then tomorrow, we're obviously going to be tomorrow at the practice at Allegiant Stadium, the open practice. I'll be a part of that. And then we're going to get ready and we're going to prep for the Dallas Cowboy game and how that's going to look. Here, the Cowboys got some work to do also, because for everything I'm seeing in my prep, the Cowboy writers have been coming after Jerry Jones pretty hard. The Cowboy writers and the insiders who cover this team are like, look, Jerry, you didn't do anything in the offseason. CeeDee Lamb's not playing. Dak's not happy. Dak's not making a problem about this, but Dak is pretty much telling everybody it's time for him to get paid. And fortunately for Dak, he's going to get $16 million, and he doesn't deserve it, because he's got the star on his helmet. So what I would do, and I think this is a play for the Raiders next year, the Dallas Cowboys are now worth $10 billion. That report was today, and the Raiders came in over $6 billion at number 9. Man, has times changed, huh, everybody? How about that? Has times changed? And Jerry's always going to have the money to pay the players that he wants, but I wouldn't pay Dak if I was the Cowboys. I would pay Dak if I was Mark Davis and thought it was right, because I think Dak's a really good quarterback, really good. And he's one of those very, very good who could be elite, has had some elite numbers, but you won't put him in the elite category like you put Mahomes in there. So for the Cowboys, who haven't won a Super Bowl since Dak Prescott was 2.5 years old, their last championship was January 28th, 1996. Now, according to Sportico, they released the franchise values of the top 10 NFL teams, and the Cowboys were head and shoulders atop the list, valued at $10.32 billion. They became the first sports franchise to top $10 billion. Forbes valued the Cowboys at $9 billion in September. The Los Angeles Rams come in at 7.79. They rank second, followed by the New York Giants at 7.65. I mean, the Giants started in the early 1900s. The Patriots, nice job by Robert Kraft, $7.31 billion. And the 49ers at $6.86 billion. Okay, so we're up to that. Now, here are the final teams. The New York Jets, $6.8 billion. The Miami Dolphins, $6.76 billion. How do you know the difference between 6.76 and 6.8? Come on. Then the two NFC East reps, the Eagles are 7.65, and the Washington Commanders come in listed 8th. They're listed 8th at $6.3 billion. So you got the Eagles and the Commanders. They come in at 8 and 10, and at number 9. By the way, my favorite number. When the Golden Knights came in studio, said, JT, we're giving you a number. I said number 9. That's why I wore in Little League. Number 9. At number 9, the Las Vegas Raiders, $6.7 billion. Now, I remember at one point the talking points that I had, either in Oakland or Vegas, is the stadium cost $1.9 billion, and the Raiders were worth about $1.9 billion, maybe 2. I remember hearing that verbatim from some people. What were the Raiders worth in Oakland? Under $2 billion. Now they come to Vegas, and they're 9th overall in professional sports at $6.7 billion in the sports and entertainment capital of the world. Imagine when we start winning. We, the season ticket holders, imagine that. And start winning consistently, which I think is going to happen. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought here, but hopefully we're getting to the right side of this. What a job. Hey, look, this is a business. If you look at this business, how it was built from people who are no longer here, people who are here now, Mrs. Davis, Mark Davis, and before that, the Maverick Al Davis, one of the more expensive teams in the history of sports, now resides in Las Vegas. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, we're going to do this, and we're going to probably sign off at the top of the hour, everybody. There's some days I'm not going to do a 2-hour live stream for obvious reasons, but Raiders are worth $6.7 billion. That's number 9. So they're worth more than the Commanders, who used to be the Redskins, who have a pretty good brand. So if you want to criticize the team for not winning, fair. If you want to criticize the team, you don't like the move, fair. You cannot criticize this business and what has happened in Vegas with this money. This money is insane. And hopefully that extra money, the concerts and all that, help us get better players. Because everybody will also say Mark Davis is not cheap when it comes to anything, let alone players. Look at how much he's paying for coaches to go away when he makes a move. It's not like he's saying, I can't afford this. Chargers have done that forever, keeping coaches that they want to let go because they can't afford to. So look, there's a lot going on. But Al Davis wanted to win, and so does Mark. As Pat says, nothing matters if you lose. You're right, but it's a business. It's a business, and they're winning as a business. You want to win on the field. I agree.
Let's use $1,000 loan as an example. Interest will cost you $5.50 a day, and if you need the loan for 10 days, the interest cost will be $55. Just $5.50 a day on a $1,000 loan? Yes, sir. No other fees at all. Just the interest for how long you keep out the loan. That was Chuck, and DLC continues to be your community lender by offering free loans to all new customers. No fee to apply and a week of free interest. We have over 50 locations. Apply over the phone or online at DeltaGrope.com. This is JT from Aldi's, New York style cold fire brick oven pizza that you crave. 4 locations here in the Valley, Summerlin, in Boca Park, on the Strip, at the
Hey, Jeff,
Palazzo,
Bobby, how you
Southwest
doing?
Las Vegas on South Rainbow
Good. I'll
Boulevard,
get you up
and
with
Green Valley
JT.
on
Give me 2
Southeastern
minutes, okay?
If you've been in a motorcycle accident,
Okay.
remember, it's not about
And this will be Pierce talking about the quarterback's first half.
You know, motorcycle accidents can be complex, and that's when you need
What is it going to be?
Pierce talking about the quarterback's first half.
At Paul Paddle Law, we'll guide you through the journey of recovery, physically, emotionally, and financially. Check us out at paulpaddlelaw.com or call us 702-707-3000.
Okay, ready to go.
Martin is the official cognac of the JT the Brick Show. When you're celebrating any of your team's victories, celebrate with Remy Martin Cognac, XO, VSOP, and 1738. Remy Martin, team up for excellence.
Join Mark Patrick's seminars and stop smoking now.
95 people here, man. That's pretty good. So our next goal is we got to get to 5,000 subs. That's what my son says. Dad, you got to get to 5,000 before you get to 10,000. So, you know, I don't know how I have 60,000 followers on Twitter, which isn't a lot because I'm not a race bait guy. And then I got 20,000 fans on Facebook or friends. If all those people slid over, man, we'd have even more.
In addition, lose all the weight 100% guaranteed with Mark Patrick seminars. Let hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings and lose the weight. That's right. Seminar Sunday, September 8th at the San
We're almost there. Yes.
In Las Vegas. The weight loss seminars at 11 a.m. Stop smoking.
All right, Bobby, what do we have here? We're going to do a Virgin Hotels.
Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Poor physical connectivity and high bandwidth usage are 2 common network problems faced by most companies in Las Vegas. I'm Georgios, the sales manager at Les Olson IT, and we want to help. Our multi-point network analysis will identify your network's problems and offer solutions to improve its performance. This assessment is free for a limited time. Learn more at lesolson.com.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, good reps there for 80. Backed up, drove all the way down the length of the field. It's close there. We was thinking about going from the fourth down, negative play. We kicked the field goal. And then Gardner came in. 3 good drives. I mean, really for those both quarterbacks, all 4 possessions led to points on the board for the Raiders. So that was positive. There's a lot of things, obviously, we can learn from it. Like to see a little bit better in the running game for us, of course, but I thought the quarterbacks responded well.
All right, that's Antonio Pierce. We got a lot of sound with him. I'll be talking to him coming up at the open practice. It could be anywhere from 30 to 40,000 fans there. I put out a voiceover. If you're a Raider fan, you got my voiceover on how to park, where to go, how to get there with the RTC. If you want to walk over from Mandalay Bay, go early. Get there early for sure. Jeff Sherman joins us, VP of Risk Management. He joins us every 2 weeks, and we appreciate his time. Jeff, let's begin. Some injuries. You see J.J. McCarthy, but he's a backup quarterback competing for that. Injuries in the preseason really not moving the needle much so far, nor does that ever when it comes into season win totals, right?
Slightly it can. It does on the preseason lines. The Browns yesterday were -2.5 against Minnesota in this upcoming preseason game, and it shot up across 3 up to 3.5. So you'll see more of an effect there. Maybe a slight 10-cent difference in a season win total. Nothing on week 1 because Sam Darnold's still expected to be the starter as he was.
What have you learned so far in preseason, especially with the unders? I see a lot of sharps on X and other social media saying they just love to pound the preseason and set the number under the total there. I'm sure that's something you adjust to. What trends have we seen so far?
Yeah, it's really looking at the quarterback depth chart and going from there and seeing, who's going to be playing in the second half. Sometimes you see first half lines that are greater than the full game lines. And, just the quarterback battles, for instance, with the Raiders going on and Raiders playing Dallas this Saturday night, that line opened up as low as 3.5, 4. It's up to 7 just because of the thinking of the Raiders playing 2 potential starters in the game. So a lot of that type of analysis.
Move on to the NBA. I know you got up the NBA season win total. I was looking at the Knicks and the Lakers, obviously the Boston Celtics. Let's start with Boston. Considering how dominant they were last year in the postseason and they're bringing everybody back, where do you have the Celtics in the repeat?
Yeah, open up the highest one at 58.5, and it's really rare that you see teams near 60. But after what they've done in bringing their entire squad back, we're up there almost touching 60. So I tried to get something aggressively high on them.
Is there another team that added a lot here, considering what they've done into the draft and free agency that drastically moved more than you thought? There's some support?
There wasn't too much movement. It was kind of a quiet offseason this year, and the most notable one was Paul George going to the 76ers. And we started them at 53.5, same as your Knicks number there, 53.5. So, 76ers won 47 last year. Embiid was hurt. Tried to move them up a little bit with the addition of Paul George and then some veteran free agency signed too.
I know you got Christmas games up already. Tell me about that overall and the number and the handle that you get this early with Christmas being that far out.
Yeah, it's not too much handle. We put up the 2 games opening night and then the 5 games for Christmas, and it's more of something to get talked about and just get the juices flowing and, people to see what our power ratings are at this point in this, before the season starts. So just something to add to our betting menu, and I always like doing things as early as we can with that.
Jeff Sherman is our guest, and with the SuperContest, just want to get an update for you and our audience. A lot of it's national. You guys are the best. You're the sharpest casino with the sharpest lines. No one debates that. There are some other people involved in that industry with contest also. What makes the SuperContest at the Westgate the long-standing best one?
Well, the consistency of it. We've done picking 5 games against the spread, and how you have to approach it. Then we've added some mini contests throughout the season, so we've been expanding that aspect too to try to have more than one contest available. We've added the gold contest, which is a $5,000 entry fee, winner take all. So something that's for the professionals like to get in more than amateurs or novice bettors. So we've tried to expand it over the years, but we have the mainstay of what the contest is about, picking the 5 against the spread, so you have action all season long.
VP of Risk Management, Jeff Sherman over at the Superbook at the Westgate. I'm looking at baseball standings, and the Guardians have the same exact record as the Dodgers. I didn't see that coming for the start of the year there. The Dodgers are clearly a loaded team. My Yankees, who are giving me just I can't sleep after losing to the White Sox last night there, but it's the Orioles and the Yankees. Winner wins the division. The other team should be a wild card team, but the Padres have come on strong as of late here. The Padres have been rolling 8 of their last 10 games, and they're climbing the standings.
Yeah, the Padres and Diamondbacks are both creeping up on the Dodgers for the division, so we've eased the Dodgers out. They're 4-1 favorites to win the World Series, which they've always been less than that. As you mentioned, San Diego down to 16-1 and Arizona down to 20-1. So a little bit of condensing of the odds there.
Jeff, I know you don't take Little League. In the United States, there's no jurisdiction for Little League World Series, but I guess some people can bet it offshore, which was shocking to me when I found that out today.
Yeah, it's a funny story is, back in the 90s at the Imperial Palace, we actually did book Little League when there were no regulations of gaming and baseball was on strike. So we had to offer something. So we did back then. But since that point, regulations have come in and you don't see it in any legal jurisdiction, just the offshore websites.
Finally, Jeff, give me something on golf going forward here, because I know you're booking Live and you're taking a look at the FedEx Cup title overall, where Scotty Scheffler won the Olympic gold medal. That was a great story over in Paris here. What's coming up with golf? Fill us in on the schedule.
Yeah, well, we have the start of the playoffs this week with the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis. And, of course, Scotty Scheffler is a 7-2 favorite. And if you want to play him for the FedEx Cup, which is the winner at the conclusion of the Tour Championship, he's minus 110 because he theoretically could start out with a two-stroke lead going into the tournament if he can hold on to that position. So we have a 3-week stretch here, PGA Tour playoffs. So you're going to get the quality players playing these next 3 weeks. Great.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll see you over at the book. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, JT.
That's Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate, the Superbook. We will make sure we get the gambling stuff. I keep tight. It's Jeff Sherman. He's a wizard, right? He got all the lines for us. Going to be very important to us, an asset during football season. Bill Krackenberger, professional sports winning gambler. Lee Sterling joins me again this year. And we're going to add another gaming insider in here for the NFL and college football as we continue to expand the show. We wanted to welcome back, Virgin Hotels Las Vegas here. Virgin Hotels is where my DNA is as a fan of just going out and watching concerts. Because I met my wife walking in from the center bar into the joint at the time for the Rolling Stones. Now it's Virgin Hotels, and Cliff Atkinson's going to join us next week. The president over there, they've greatly expanded their pool. While complimentary for guests, it's ideal for staycations or for non-hotel guests. You can escape anytime for just $25 on passes, plus local specials for cabanas and exclusive resident offers are available. In fact, a few months ago, part of the renovation includes the Cassie Beach Club. That upscale tropical paradise covers 3 different pools. Plan your getaway at Virgin Hotels, Las Vegas. And you see me all over there, from one steakhouse with my buddy J.O.D. and the legendary Michael Morton, all the other establishments I like there. When there's great concerts over there, I just race over there to have a whole night. From the beginning, from dinner, all the way through the show till afterwards. A lot of my original bartenders are still there. Great place to be. All right, that hour flew by. Vince Sapienza will join us next. He's our newest member of our team here on the morning show. And, in radio, guys and gals come and go, but they're all part of the team. If they were here in the past, they're part of our family. If they're new, they're part of our family. And we welcome Vince Sapienza, who y'all know Vince. He's been on my show for years. And he's a good guy, and he knows sports really good, and he's embedded with the Raiders. So you have another Raider mind and another Raider voice in mornings as we get going here. I'm keeping an eye on Ian Rappaport and Adam Schefter today to find out if there's going to be any more breaking news on these contracts. Russell Baxter is going to join us next hour from Fansided on a couple of these players who are still available. So we'll dive into that. And what does J.J. McCarthy's knee injury mean for the Vikings? It means Sam Darnold doesn't have to look over his shoulder. He's going to need knee surgery after playing the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't recall the injury. I don't know if you did, but they've been talking about it. He was sore afterwards, comes back the next day, and that's what happens. Unbelievable here. And the Browns have some problems. We're going to be talking about that. Defensive tackle Mike Hall Jr., charged with domestic violence in Avon, Ohio, after allegedly threatening a woman with a gun Monday night. Hall was arrested and booked Tuesday, which is today. He pleaded not guilty. According to a police report, Hall grabbed a handgun during an argument, pressed it against a woman's temple, and threatened, "I will blank End it all. I don't care. Well, you can't have people on your team doing that. You can't have that. We play the Browns. We play the Browns early in the season, and they're coming, man. Oh, they're coming. Oh, well, believe me, the Browns fans are coming. Hold your tickets. Remember, I'll only say it a few times. Hold your tickets. But some people, Bobby, hold to sell for higher prices to the opposition. You know who doesn't do that? Fabian. Fabian's in my live chat. You don't sell. You don't do that. I see him at my seats. No, I like to give my tickets away to friends and families of Raider Nation or my family. But, we got to take over that place a little bit better this year. We all know that. That's why Modelo, the Black Hole, the Raider organization, doing more fan-friendly interactive events there. There's an opportunity to tailgate outside, but inside a suite. Woo! You don't think JT the Brick's going to be knocking on that window in the third person, pointing at some Modelo, cool off there in the tailgate? And then new information on the Black Hole. As they move from the parking lot to their new tailgate location, Cisco and Mark Jones will come on and announce that when we get ready to go. Bobby, I have a high word count today. I got an event tonight and a practice tomorrow. Let's get my word count down. Talking a lot, man, in the summer. Talking a lot more than I wanted to talk in the summer, man. I get paid to talk. I get paid to drink Modelo. Paid to drink Tito's and Remy Martin. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad life. It's all good, Raider Nation. Let's do it. We got a couple of nights coming up this week to see you out at some practices. Hope you show up. All right. Yes. Take a break. We'll hear this Vince interview. He's our new member of our morning show. Fabian sits in his seats. Oakland never did that. Well, James, Oakland didn't do a lot of things. They didn't have politicians who wanted to keep the team, build a new stadium, help Mark Davis out. Because all these owners, they don't need help, but they get it. Look at Buffalo, PSLs, all that. Paid to drink, Thor. Yee, yes. Fabian's going to come to team practice. There's La Casa Mike. La Casa Mike. We'll be at next Tuesday's open practice. We will see you there. I'll get my La Casa read in at the top of the hour. My favorite place to get a cigar, live music. Probably get over there this week. Be right back, everyone.
Message is brought to you by Lerner & Rowe, voted best personal injury law firm. Call 702-877-1500.
All work and no play makes for one boring-ass week. Kick boredom to the curb with ice-cold beer, signature cocktails, and the best tavern food in town. Voted best happy hour in Las Vegas, there's no better place to be than PT's Taverns. See you for 50% off drinks during happy hour 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. daily. With over 65 locations, there's always a PT's Tavern near you. Visit ptstaverns.com to find your favorite neighborhood tavern.
When you buy a Subaru, you're buying more than a vehicle. You're buying trust. According to Consumer Reports, Subaru has been ranked the 2023 Best Mainstream Automotive Brand. Celebrate with special offers during the Subaru A Lot to Love event, now through September 3rd. Come to Subaru Las Vegas and get 0% APR financing on select new 2024 Subaru Outback models. Learn more at Subaru.com/CR. Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services. SubaruLasVegas.com.
If you need to sell your house,
talk to Aaron Taylor.
You want to sell it fast and get the most cash, talk to Aaron Taylor,
the real estate guy.
Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy here. Do you know we're not just real estate experts? We're an advertising and marketing powerhouse specializing in selling residential and commercial properties.
And we're just getting started. We offer 3 incredible solutions for our sellers to maximize their profits.
First, we provide a cash advance with no interest. Need money now? We got you covered.
Second, we handle all repairs and improvements up front to ensure you get the most money possible for your home.
And third, you decide the commission you pay, as low as $1. Plus, we'll even buy your home for cash if that's what you need.
Don't just take our word for it. Check out our hundreds of glowing reviews on Google or at therealestateguyLV.com.
Call 702-310-MOVE. That's 702-310-6683.
eXp Realty, license number 38886.
Starting to prove we can do a lot of business with this place without fucking doing remote, so let's keep it that way. Because the old school people are like, can you do this? Can you do this? It's like, what is that going to do for the show? He's sitting somewhere. No one cares. It's noon. No one's going to know it. We're going to room at 4 o'clock at night. Come off the work.
If it's spoon involved with some shit, you might get somebody to do, but
Yeah. Do a big, let's do a big Grimaldi's live read, man. You hear we do live reads on radio, and we are the kings of it here, the kings. And what we do is we have partners who partner with us, and then we talk about them on the radio. And we got 19 of them now in a 2-hour show. That has to be a world record. That's got to be a world record. Yes. Yeah, we're supposed to be able to hear all of this. We're talking, that's why we're giving everybody access to the YouTube stream. Yes. And we'd rather do that, so we got it.
Welcome back to the JT Brick Show, brought to you by Modelo Especial.
The new #1 beer in the U.S.
It's time for JT the Brick.
The Raider offseason is about content that is productive.
Shotgun to O'Connell. Backpedaling, lobbing to the end zone, trying to get at him. Makes the ground. Touchdown, Raiders.
I thought Aiden O'Connell played pretty well last year. He's a quarterback who's serviceable.
Now pressure. Gets out of there. Crosby's got it from behind. Back at the 45-yard line.
There's no better player who plays with heart and passion and speed than Mad Max Crosby. Wait till you see him this upcoming season.
JT the Brick.
Dodd to throw. Split on the blitz, and he wraps him up and holds him up for a sack.
I love the addition of Jack Jones. All the plays he made last year will be a great addition for this team moving forward.
Intercepted down the sideline. Intercepted Jack Jones, and he walks in. Touchdown.
And now,
Raiders! All right, now we're good. Let's get to it.
Raider Nation Unite. Good to have you here. We are brought to you by Grimaldi's. When I say it's the best pizza I ever had, it is. And my dad agrees with me. And my dad means everything to me. So when I think of Grimaldi's, I think of my dad. Hands down, the best pizza I've ever had. Only at Grimaldi's Pizzeria can you get the famous New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza that you crave. And now available in slices, man. I grew up getting slices of pizza and then large pies. Weekdays for lunch, bundle your giant slices with a house or Caesar salad, soda, iced tea for only $9.99. Grimaldi's knows I'm dedicated to them. I tell the kids we order ahead. They go pick it up. They come back. We get the Brooklyn Bridge, extra ricotta. Get the salads. Love the Mediterranean and the Caesar. Eat it out by the pool in the summertime. Eat it during football Sundays. Grimaldi's. Dine in, carry out, and delivery. Grimaldi'sPizzeria.com. And thank you, Grimaldi's, for being a tremendous partner, providing the $50 gift cards to give away to our loyal fans throughout the season. Oh, and Grimaldi's, thank you for Costa Mesa, for sending us to Costa Mesa there, as they were one of our great, proud partners there, which we love. Vince Sapienza will join us here in a moment. The way I look at the pulse of this show, the pulse is me, moi. What my pulse drives the show. I'm summertime radio right now, Bobby. You know, we did a summer series on the best games of all time. Super Bowl 18 came in number 1. Super Bowl number 11 came in number 2. Super Bowl 15 came in number 3. Number 4, the 11 Angry Men, the 67 championship game. We had Red Right 88 goes to the post. That took some work, man. We didn't just show up every day and grab 2 sound bites. We dove into that. And now we're wrapping up summertime radio, which means, hey, man, this isn't the end of the world radio. End of the world, Super Bowl, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Game of Thrones is the Charger game. So I'm going to go from like a 3 or 4 in intensity to a 10 with the head coach, by the way. That's confirmed. He's ready to go for that game, too. The guy from Compton, the guy who's straight out of Compton, Antonio Pierce, he's ready to go for that game, too. But we can't go too early. We can't go too early. Got to make sure we peak at the right time as we get going here for hour number 2. Russell Baxter, the football guru, will also join us here. There was an earthquake in L.A. yesterday, 4.4, as the NBA Today was on. Malik Andrews, I saw the video of that. She handled that beautifully. Hard to host with an earthquake. But for those who were affected, we got a lot of fans in Southern California, so hopefully no big issues there. If you're looking to go to these practices and all this, the open practices, you're going, a lot of people are going in town, just go early. What else are you going to do? Get inside the stadium, park. The alphabet lots, there'll be limited parking. You could go park and pay if you want at Mandalay Bay and then walk over the Hacienda Bridge. You could Uber, rideshare, or take the RTC. If you take the RTC and they have buses, and it's all out there on Raiders social media. I voiced it the other day, and you can see all that. So just get there early, get inside, have a lot of fun. It's pretty hot. One of the only downsides of Raider Nation in Vegas is it's tough to tailgate in August and September. That won't be a problem this year because our home opener is the third game of the year. So it won't be as hot as it's been, assuming that. So it'll be good tailgate weather. Hey, I'm happy to welcome Vince Sapienza to our team here on Raider Nation Radio now in the mornings with Vinny Bonsignore and Clay Baker. We go back a long way. And Vince, congratulations on this great opportunity. Good to hear from you, man. How was it today?
We full circle. For those that don't know the story, I interned under you for a number of years and then made my way to Vegas. Here we are. It was a great first show. Those 3 hours flew by.
Nice.
I had so many notes. I didn't even get halfway through, which has got to point to good news. But, you know, like I said, just wanted to follow in the footsteps. I just keep hearing how you're getting paid to talk sports and Modelo and Grimaldi's. I need a piece of pie.
You will get pie. You will get $50 gift cards. I can promise you on that. But, I mean, I've talked about this with you for years. We've been friends a long time. And, you know, you're a really busy guy because of your Golden Knights and Raiders coverage and doing live hits at 10 o'clock and sometimes 11 o'clock coming out of T-Mobile after a Golden Knights game. And now you're up early in the morning to do radio. So that's an added responsibility that it seems like you're really excited about.
Yeah, as we've talked about, this is what we do, right? I mean, we eat, live, breathe sports. And here in Vegas, Raider Nation, man, how do you not live and eat and die for the silver and black? So, yeah, obviously it's gonna be a lot, but I'm excited to give some takes, give some energy, get the day started for Raider Nation the right way because wins, losses, people's got a lot to say. They need to get it off their chest. We want to hear them, and we want to bring you the best that we can and provide you the best and that's with players and coaches and things of that nature. So, yeah, super excited, great team. On the morning tailgate, and the best is just yet to come.
Yeah, Vince, your backstory, too. You know, we worked together back in the day at Fox Sports Radio, but then you came to the ground and hit the ground running and built relationships with Mark Davis as they were building this stadium. You were one of the few guys that had access to the owner as they put shovels in the ground and tried to get this to the finish line on budget and on time, building the stadium. So what was that process like?
Yeah, you know, it was fascinating from the Southwest trips to Oakland to the Raiders relocation boat in Arizona. And then the construction of Allegiant Stadium was unlike anything I've ever covered in my 10 plus years in broadcasting. It was, I mean, it was a feat on and of itself. What those workers and what those people did to get that stadium up and running in the time frame in which they did is something that still has never been done anywhere else. So the people here in Las Vegas are one of a kind. And telling those stories, getting to have that relationship with Mark Davis, who, you know, can be misunderstood a lot of the time. But one thing that has been made very clear to me is how much he values relationships and how much he values the hardworking person, which I think is a testament to who Raider Nation is. And that showed itself during that construction of Allegiant Stadium, being able to tell those stories and him shaking every hand and taking every picture or selfie or signing every autograph when he would host those lunches for the workers every other week or so. So, yeah, I mean, that was just an invaluable time and crazy to look back on it as, you know, we get set for another season here in Las Vegas. We walk in those doors of Allegiant Stadium and sometimes we forget just how incredible it was that thing was built, when it was built, and how it was built in the time frame that it was. So I definitely look back, and that was definitely a highlight in terms of the career, and I think it will always be, just because the relationships made with the workers and the Raider Nation itself.
Vince Sapienza, newest member of our morning show, The Morning Tailgate with Clay Baker and Vinny Bonsignore. And then the Golden Knights, you and I are both cut from the same cloth. There's going to be days where it's, you know, quiet or a segment or so, and you get a chance to have a connection or tell a story from the night before. You go to a lot of UFC. I see you at boxing. Even though Raiders will be the focus here on the flagship of the Raiders, you're all encompassing as you like to go to all the sports that we see here in the Valley.
I mean, how can you not? I mean, when everything is here and we have the ability and the access, I mean, you'd be a fool to not take advantage the way we do. But yeah, I mean, it's all about telling stories, JT. You know, it's all about telling the stories here in Las Vegas. Obviously, the Raiders will be the focus, but everything ties back to the silver and black somehow. I'm working on a story right now for Fox 5, and we're going to hear from the man coming up on the morning tailgate here in the next few weeks about one of the guys who trained with Max Crosby in MMA, one of the most famous coaches in mixed martial arts, who told me he believes if Max Crosby wanted to, in a year, he could be one of the top UFC fighters in the promotion. It's a testament to his love for the sport, a testament to just the athlete, the freak specimen that he is. I mean, as good as he is at football, he could be just as good as UFC. So for one of the top guys in that world to say that is fascinating. That's a story you'll see on Fox 5, and he's the guy you're going to hear from on the morning tailgate. Just one of many guests we're going to have.
Well, I'm up before 6:30 every morning to get in the stock market or look around and keep an eye on some of my assets there. You'll be up earlier than that to drive to come to studio and do the show. And with young kids that you have, and you have a great wife who I've met, you'll be able to handle this schedule that some nights will end late, start early, and then you'll thrive for the weekends like I do, and we'll have a Modelo together.
JT, that's why they made espresso. I'm just pumping it through the veins on the regular. It's going to be a good time.
Take care, Vince. Good luck, man.
Thanks, JT.
You got it. Hey, support our friend Vince Sapienza. As we said with everybody, he is the newest member of our morning show team. Doing mornings, as Bobby is winking and we're laughing a bit, doing mornings is different. I've been doing this 27 years. I choose not to do mornings or nights, Friday nights. But I'm like a bartender now. I've said this. My wife's like, you're working Labor Day. I'm like, yeah, I'm working Labor Day. The Labor Day? I go, yeah. I got a big shift on Mad Dog Sports Radio, so I'll work 4 hours on Labor Day. I can have cervezas after that. It's a long day, Labor Day. I got married on Labor Day. And as you know, Bobby, it's coming up on my 25-year wedding anniversary coming up. Now I got to decide what I'm doing that day. Because, I mean, look, I got the best wife in the world, you know. We know that. But I could work 2 hours that day and still do it. You know what I need that day for my 25-year? I need something good. I need a staycation because I can't get out. It's on a Wednesday. Ooh, it's on a Wednesday, which is not the end of the world because we'll probably do something the weekend before. We got a big trip lined up for next summer. Goodbye. Not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. Don't worry about summertime radio. I'll be here. But the Comrex box might be set up in Europe or something. But, yeah, I got some big events coming up here. 25 years. This is the year my son graduates from ASU, hopefully. He's smart. He's on budget, on time.
Last one.
So the last big out-of-state college tuition check. You wonder why I got all these partners, man. We're paying for college. I can see the finish line, man. I can see it out there in Tempe. Or no, it's in Scottsdale now. He's a senior. Tempe, he's got to be in Scottsdale. Senior year there. So we'll set that up and do that. So I'm going to travel. And then my mom and dad, 86, 85. So I'm going to be taking a couple of bi-week trips and some other trips over to Florida to check in on the folks, because you always got to check in on the folks and do all that. But once football season starts, my day starts on Sunday with the Raiders, and it's the pre and post game on the radio, and then it's Mad Dog at night from 8 to 11 p.m., which is a long day. That's a long Sunday. I don't know anybody who works a longer Sunday than moi. Then on Monday, we got a Raiders TV show with Eric Allen and a new special guest this year. You'll know who that is. And then we got radio every day. And I got Monday night at Win. And then Tuesday, it's just back here on Raider Nation Radio. And then Wednesday, we're going to be doing something at the Raiders, which we can't wait to announce on one of our platforms. It's 6 days a week. Only day off is Saturday. And I'm good with that, because when you get an opportunity to work for an NFL team and work on an NFL flagship and do a little syndication, a little national radio, you do it all. You do it all. You don't turn anything. As Belichick says, no days off. No, we need Saturday for me, Bill. Nights for me, because you got to get the Friday night and on Friday and Saturday nights. Got one team that I'm excited about over at the Shift 4 Club over at Allegiant Stadium with Roland Williams. That's going to be a lot of fun as we continue and get ready to practice. Hopefully see a couple of people on the sidelines tonight as the Raiders have an open practice for certain guests. Tomorrow's the open stadium practice, which will be really cool. So we are busy. This week kind of came flying out of nowhere. Hey, man, how cool is it? Our new partner, Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka. It's one of the America's greatest success stories, distilled on the same land where it all started in Austin, Texas. Tito's is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. I've been drinking Tito's for quite some time. It tastes better. It's a great vodka, and the success story is amazing. Look for some recipes, videos, and as we say, the charity work that they do with pets. We had a meeting with them. I couldn't believe it, what they do with pets and dogs, and incredible as we dive into that. You can find it all at Tito'sVodka.com. Coming up next, the football guru, Russell Baxter, will join us. He was at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He goes every year. He was the researcher for Tom Jackson and Chris Berman all those years on the NFL's coverage on ESPN. He's a frequent guest for us when the season starts. Gave him the summer off, so we'll talk to him coming up as we continue on the flagship of the Silver and Black. This is Raider Nation Radio, brought to you by Boyd Gaming. Locals when it comes to the Raiders and Boyd. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. The 9P. So, yeah, soda. What's happening, man? All right. Everybody good? Everybody good? Yeah, that was a good show so far. We're not going to do all 2 hours. I'm going to jump off now. Modelo. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe and share this. Want to see some tweets, some social media? Let everybody know. Let's get to 5,000 subs.